Okay, boys and girls, so today we are going to work on our DRP, which stands for Degrees of Reading Power. We're going to work on keywords. And what are keywords? Keywords are words that unlock the keys to your reading. Before you even read an article, it's important to get an idea of what the article is going to be about. So to do this, we skim the article, which means we read it kind of really quickly, but we look for words that really jump out at us that will give us an idea of what the passage is about. Let's try it. The keywords that we're going to use today, we're going to look at just these few sentences, and we're going to just look for some keywords. I think I might find some keywords that will tell me what the passage is mainly about. Saturday, buy, clothes, pants, sweaters, hope, and sneakers. Those are the words that are the most important in this passage. The other words are not quite as important. So I really only need to skim the passage to see those words, and I think that passage is about going shopping. Let's try it one more time. Let's try skimming this passage for a few keywords. I don't need to read the whole passage, but some of the words that will help me to get the idea of what this passage is mainly about are Jamal, birthday, party, friends, cake, candy, ice cream, chips, sodas, prizes, and movie. That tells me this passage is probably about Jamal's birthday party. One other way that we can do keywords is to fill in the blanks. So I'm going to look at this passage right here, and I have a bunch of words that I'm going to fill in the blanks. So the words that are in the word bank are not really telling me what the passage is about. So I really need to skim the passage to see what the passage is about and look for those key words in the passage. So I'm going to look for the keywords in this passage just by using a pen to underline the words. Well, I think that wand might tell me something about this passage, and maybe blow might tell me something about this passage. And I'm thinking of what I already know about blowing in a wand, and maybe it might have something to do. Oh, look, I see the word soap in there, and something stretching. Oh, and here's a word that really is going to tell me what this passage is mostly about. I think this passage is mostly going to be about bubbles, because it talks about floating and blowing and stretching, and it says that it's round. So now, before I even read the passage, I have an understanding that this passage is going to be about bubbles. So next, I'm going to go through and read my passage again, but this time I'm going to read it word by word and try to fill in the blanks, knowing already what it's going to be about. When you blow into the wand, you make air move. If you blank slowly, do I need to read on? I think I might need to read a little bit more to figure out. If you slowly, you can see how the air makes the soap on the wand start to stretch. Oh, well, it said blow over here, so I'm thinking it might actually repeat the same word or use a word like that. And I see that there's a word blow up on the top, so I'm going to cross out that word blow, and I'm going to write it in my blank. Now I can keep reading. As you blow, before it said if I blow slowly, let me see. As you blow, the soap stretches and stretches until it can't stretch anymore. It could be slowly, but it doesn't make sense because it's making it sound like it can get bigger and bigger. So I'm not sure what this one's going to be. It could be inside. It could be up. It could be harder. I'm not really sure, so I'm going to read on a little bit more. Finally, it snaps free. The soap shuts the air inside it. Ooh, shuts the air inside it. I think that the air inside it is kind of trapped. So if the air is inside, then the soap is my keyword that is shutting around the bubble. And on a DRP, just one last note. It's okay if you don't get an answer as long as you go back to that answer and fill it in later. So I still haven't decided between these three words, this one, and this one, what could be filling in this blank. So I'm going to still save that for going back to later. I'm going to start over here. You don't have to blow to make a bubble. If you hold your bubble wand to the wind, The wind will blow bubbles for you. Oh, well, I think that it's blowing. If I hold my bubble wand, now I already know about bubbles a little bit because I have some background knowledge about bubbles. So if I blow my bubble, hold my bubble wand up to the wind, then I think up makes the most sense. So I'm going to take up, and I'm going to put up in my blank. You can also make bubbles by holding the wand up and running. Anything that moves air can make a bubble if a bubble touches something like your or another bubble. Oh, I have to keep reading. It may have a flat side. Oh, so that says if it touches something like your it may have a flat side. I think that would be like my hand because that would kind of crush it. So I'm going to put hand in there. Or the wind may a bubble and change its shape. So I think that the wind, because it was saying if the wind is really, if the wind is moving, the wind may push the bubble because the wind is kind of like a force that pushes on the bubble. But when a bubble is quietly floating in the air by itself, I think. See, now I've eliminated all my other choices, and I have 2 choices left and 2 blanks. It doesn't push harder in one place than in another. It pushes evenly in every direction. This makes the bubble round. The soap skin holds the air. Oh, harder definitely doesn't make sense in there, so I think this one will be inside. It pushes back against the air, and then that one means that this one up here would have to be harder. So, when we're reading our DRP passages, remember to look for key words that will give you an understanding of what the passage is going to be about by skimming the passage before you even read it, and then going back and reading it carefully a second time.